Welcome to Mercy's Designs. My name is Mercy and I demonstrate Stampin' Up! Products. Today I'm going to bring you this really adorable card using the brand new stamp set Glad We're Friends, and this is called a corner flip card. So what's really cool about this card is it uses a standard piece of cardstock measuring 5.5 by 8.5. So when you open it up, you can also create this pocket for like a gift card or cash, whatever you choose. So I will show you how to make this, and then we will also be doing a little stamping. So again, as I was saying, standard half sheet of cardstock. You will need your paper trimmer, and this is for scoring and cutting. So the first measurement is the standard 4 1/4. So we're just scoring it in half. Now this card can be a little confusing, so I have made myself a template. So the first part, I'm going to face my card so it's this way. And one thing that will help you is you always want to line up your ruler here at 3 inches, the paper. So that will help you stay on track. So what I'm going to do is line it up at 3 inches. Oh, actually, before I pop it down, I will go ahead and I will cut from 5/8 inch. So I'm actually kind of doing the reverse a little bit here. 5/8 inch down to 3 inches for this particular measurement. So pretty simple. Now I'm going to take my template and turn it, so I'm not confusing myself. And oh, see, I am already doing that. So I'm turning it this way. Okay. And again, I'm lining up at 3 inches. So once I have it at 3 inches, I'm popping it back down and I'm cutting into it. Now here, I'm going to go from 2.5 inches down to 4 7/8 on this ruler. So this is helpful if you have used washi tape here, because it shows up a lot better. So now I'm going to go down to 4 7/8, which is almost at 5 inches. And then pop it up. So now we have this in place, cut, but sometimes, you know, it doesn't come out perfectly. Oh, sorry about that. In which case you just snip it. So we're done with that. Now the hard part's over. So again, with my diagram, I say, turn the card like this and flip this down. So it's going down, 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 and then up. And then this is what creates that flip. Now, if you feel like it's not quite straight, you could try to straighten a little bit, but it's not too bad at this point. Now is very easy. So the next part, actually, we will need something to cut, is I have a piece of DSP, and this is going to layer under this. In order to do that, you will need to trim off part. So this is the waist. So you can mark 1/2 inch here. Yeah, I'll just do that real quick. 1/2 inch right here would be here, and then 1 7/8 inch up. So let's get that. So right here. So I can definitely do it this way, or once you've made your template, you can just put it on and start, you know, make the process a little quicker if you're making a bunch of these. So right there, you wouldn't have to measure the whole thing. And then I'm going to just bring in my mini trimmer here and chop this off. So, and you know what? This is a little, because of the angle, this is a little small. So I'll just quickly bring this back in. But you get the idea as far as, like, you just want to line it up and cut it off. And this doesn't have to be super exact, because a lot of it's going to be covered up with that, the way it's set up. So just trim that off. Now here's another part. It's not tricky, but make sure you're not gluing too far up here. And the reason is we're going to be creating that pocket, and that it needs to be able to slide down in. With that one, my example card, I actually glued a little too far up. So just to caution you about that. So all I'm going to do is add about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch there. And then I'm going to add here. And we're just going to skip this whole area just to make sure that we're creating that inside pocket. So at this point I can go ahead, flip that back, and then I'm just going so it will mat it. And now it's complete. Now you can leave it this way, or if you feel like you want it to be more stable, I wouldn't glue this part, I would just glue this part here, although it probably wouldn't matter. So I'm just going to glue this part because the pocket is created on the other side, so you can glue both actually. But just to be on the safe side, because I'm a little paranoid, I'm not going to do that. All right, so now our base is complete. And the next parts, I'm going to be doing some stamping. So I will speed it up and you can just watch and observe. I did do some coloring ahead of time, but I will also do some coloring on screen as well. So sit back and let me get some stamping going. Okay, so here we are ready to now start working on completing the card. And I wanted to explain about this inside pocket. So I will start with that. So what you're going to have to do is kind of slide it in and then up and in. And that's a little bit tricky when you have glue on the card, on the back of the DSP. But just add a little bit more maybe than you're used to. It's kind of not too hard, and what you'll notice I have this cut so that this is like just under 2.5, but it's more like 2 5/8 on the length, and that's intentional because you want it to kind of slide down in, but you can't have it too big or you can't slide this in place. So it has to kind of go, yeah, and you have to kind of work fast because obviously it's wet glue. Okay, I think that was successful. That's slightly tricky, but really not terribly hard per se. So one of the next thing I'm going to do is test this to see if the gift card will fit. So I'll grab this one and then you just slide it in. And this one is going down further. So I did a good job not going too far with the glue here. So definitely think about that when you're doing this. And then I have used the stitched, these stylish shapes dies. They're stitched to create this mat. This is the largest one. And you can go ahead, pop this up. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy dimensionals and add a few. I don't go too crazy on the dimensionals, but we don't want it sagging. So probably about 5 would work for this. And I'm just going to pop this up, and that matting just looks really good. So I cut this down to 2.5 by 2.5, and that way there's enough when this shows, which I think this is probably 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 this die. Okay, so here's our flipped up corner. Super cute, I think. This whole stamp set, very cute. And that's how that works. So you can see a hidden little gift card. Glad we're friends. Great birthdays. So all we need to do is finish it off with their sentiment, which is also very cute. I'm really enjoying these cutesy cards and stamp sets. So if you don't have this Glad We're Friends, you should definitely consider it. It's in the new annual catalog. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. If you have any stamping needs, please email me at mewants3@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to help you place an order with the host code. If you have any questions, comment below, and I would be happy to try to answer those. I always love hearing feedback. So this is how the card looks, the same as my original. So I did, of course, a little masking here, and then so it's 2 colors. I just really enjoy all these colors from this new DSP, and it's called Design and Daydream. So here's some of my information. I will have this listed in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and happy stamping. So I just realized that I forgot to add the grass under here so the doggy isn't floating. This part is optional, but I'm adding with Old Olive, and obviously this should be done before you pop it up. But I will show you that it can be done. So little doggy is not floating. We're just going to add a little bit of some Old Olive here. Kind of represents grass, and is one of our colors of our DSP. So there you go. Now he's not floating. Thank you again for watching. Happy stamping.